Number 11. Never say 108.
What started off as a harmless prank on social media spiraled out of control.
Many posts suggest to say 108 to iPhone users, but if you do, Siri automatically calls local emergency services. The number 108 is used for emergency services in India. It is the equivalent of calling 911 in the United States. Fortunately, there is a 5-second delay where a caller can press cancel just in case the call was dialed accidentally. Please note that calling emergency personnel should be treated as an emergency only and not be used for entertainment purposes. In fact, some police stations across the United States, like the Denton Police Department in Texas and the Lewiston Police Department in Idaho, have issued warnings on their social media sites to warn others not to use this feature unless it is an actual emergency. Again, save the emergency calls for true emergencies only. Keep the lines open for people who truly need emergency care. Number 10. Siri, Crime Detective. Don't ask Siri to help you with a murder scene. Back in 2014, murder suspect Pedro Bravo was standing trial for killing his ex-friend Christian Aguilar, who was dating his ex-girlfriend. Aguilar's body had been found buried in a shallow hole several weeks after he went missing. According to the Palm Beach report, Bravo told Siri that he needed a place to conceal his roommate. Jokingly, Siri replied asking what kind of place he was searching for, listing dumps, swamps, reservoirs, and metal foundries.
Apparently, Bravo went with the woods.
The screenshot of the conversation was not taken by Bravo, but discovered in the cache of images he looked at on Facebook. However, when BuzzFeed tried asking Siri the same questions, all Siri does now is respond with an apology. Phone companies like Verizon's map usage and other records can now be used as evidence in court, so just be careful of what other things you ask Siri. Hopefully, you never need to find a place to dump a body. And even if you joke around and ask Siri these kinds of questions for fun, remember, if you get busted for something else stupid, your phone records everything you do. The authorities might not think it's funny to find potential grave sites embedded on your phone. Number 9. Serious mathematician. Ask Siri what 0 divided by 0 is. Maybe you're looking for a little laugh, or hey, we all need a little actual help with math sometimes. But unless you want to get a sarcastic response that could possibly hurt your feelings, then don't ask Siri for any help when it comes to basic math. If you really need the math help for basic equations, you might choose to Google them instead. Even though 0 divided by 0 is an obvious answer, the answer Siri will give you is, imagine you have 0 cookies and you split them evenly among no friends. How many cookies does each person get? See, that doesn't make sense. And Cookie Monster is sad because there are no cookies, and you are sad because you have no friends. Ouch. Not only does that reply make you rethink about asking Siri for assistance with math, but she also insulted you. So again, if you are up for a funny, sarcastic dig of reply, go for it. If you actually need help with math, ask Google or a tutor. It sucks enough to need math help, but no one needs to feel like a loser from a phone app if you really need help. Number 8. Who is Cortana? Don't call Siri Cortana. One Redditor back in 2015 made the mistake of calling Siri Cortana when he was trying to get movie showtimes. But instead of brushing it off, Siri fired back some sass. Reddit user Mike Pants posted a screenshot of the conversation he had with Siri as she made remarks asking who Cortana was and telling him that he should just ask Cortana for the movie times instead. Cortana is Microsoft's personal phone assistant, whose name is also borrowed from the Microsoft game Halo. Just like Siri, Cortana also allows users to place calls, texts, and save calendar events, and more by just asking their phone. So it's simple to see how people can mistake the two operating systems. Some people even called Siri Cortana just to see what kind of response they would get. Some replies include Siri saying not to call her by that name and responding with, "I think you have the wrong assistant." One Twitter user even claimed that Siri locked him out of his phone for 1 minute.
Call it a bad case of jealousy.
Number 7. Siri scorned. Ask if she has a boyfriend. But be prepared for the answer. If you're ever curious about Siri and her current relationship status, then prepare yourself for a truthful answer that might be hard to swallow. If you ask her, "Siri, do you have a boyfriend?" here's a response you might get. She'll reply with, "Why? So we can get ice cream together, listen to music, and travel across the galaxies, only to have it end in slammed doors, heartbreak, and loneliness. Sure, where do I sign up?" It makes one wonder about Siri's relational experiences, or at least the state of mind of the person or computer programmer who came up with the sad Debbie Downer response. Siri's more than emotional reply might even have you thinking twice about getting into a relationship. That is, if you want to use Siri as a love life guidance advisor. Anyway, you might take your chances and don't let Siri's negative reply hold you back. Number 6. Nicknames. Don't ask Siri to give yourself a funny nickname. While it might sound amusing at the time, having Siri call you Lord of Farts during the office meeting might get you in trouble at work. In one incident, according to The Sun back in 2011, a 12-year-old picked up a demo iPhone at Tesco in the UK when Siri responded back to him, "Shut the F up, you ugly bleep." As surprising as the incident was to the boy and his mother, it was soon discovered that one individual thought it would be hilarious to use this phrase rather than program his name into Siri.
So it goes to show how easy it is to set up dumb names or phrases in the setup instructions.
Since Siri isn't recognized for cursing, Tesco told The Sun that the company did launch an investigation and even sent the phone back to Apple to be diagnosed. Number 5. Siri likes sci-fi. Ask what her favorite movie is. Not only is Siri a useful mobile personal assistant, but have some fun with Siri and you'll realize she has a dark sense of humor too. According to The Verge, if you ask Siri what her favorite movie is, she'll spew out a few movies,
all of which seem to be in the sci-fi category.
Some movies include The Matrix and Blade Runner, which is kind of interesting considering they all have to do with robots, computers, and technology, especially the movie Blade Runner, which is about robots killing humans. Go on, ask Siri yourself. She'll elaborate more and say that it's all about intelligent assistants wanting to live beyond their termination dates. This Apple Candid feature is not only intelligent, but also funny. It also hints at Siri possibly evolving into something more than just OS. Number 4. Not a medic. Never ask Siri for medical help. Siri is widely advanced when it comes to speech technology. Not only can she send messages or suggest restaurants, but she can also remind you of appointments and write emails. But one thing she cannot do is help you if you need medical advice or if you're suicidal.
One young woman uploaded a 10-minute video of herself asking for medical advice back in 2012.
But despite many attempts, Siri was unsuccessful when it came to giving answers. In the video, the girl in the video tells Siri she needs psychological help, only for Siri to reply that she found 10 motorcycle dealerships nearby. Even when the girl asked Siri to call 1-800-SUICIDE, Siri was unable to do so. It had taken about 20 minutes before Siri was actually able to search for suicide hotlines and provide useful information. The good news is that many mobile apps are now available to help people to access crisis support hotlines. However, if you feel that you need mental health assistance, it is best to phone emergency services rather than depend on Siri. Number 3. Sounds like. Don't ask Siri about esports. Back in March 2017, a Toronto esports bar owner found himself in a pickle when he started getting multiple calls from people seeking escort services. Confused and dumbfounded, he decided to do a little digging. One of the callers told him that Siri might be to blame for asking Siri about escorts sounds far too similar to esports, as the virtual assistant will closely match whatever in the area is showing people his esports bar. The pub owner decided to contact Apple on their Twitter for further assistance with the issue.
However, he didn't receive a response as of yet.
He has also posted about his strange experience on Twitter. While he is still unsure of how this problem will affect his business, he hopes there will be no long-term adverse effects. Number 2. Keep it clean. Quit swearing at Siri. Admit it, we've all probably cursed at Siri at least once out of frustration when she failed to follow instructions correctly. While it may be fun to interact with an operating system that resembles something almost human without any consequences, you might want to think again. Of course, an operating system has no feelings, but you could be the one to end up getting hurt in the end. According to Frank Bitenjik, Vice President of Gartner Inc. Technology Research, examined research studied by Dr. Cheryl Branham, a teacher in Missouri State University who studies human-computer agent calls. The vice president concluded that abusing a digital personal assistant says a lot about a person's character and behavior they displayed toward an OS. Not only can verbal abuse toward a computer affect your mood negatively, but it can also offend others witnessing it.
However, if it were a human talking to another human instead of a bot, the reaction would be completely different.
Number 1. Siri, the storyteller. Tell me a story. The best part of having a mobile personal assistant is being able to interact with it, including asking her to tell you a story. With a little bit of persuasion and persistence, you can get Siri to say, "I'm sure you've heard it before. Okay, once upon a time in a virtual galaxy far, far away, there was an intelligent young agent who goes by the name Siri. One lovely day, Siri got a job as an Apple personal assistant, which was very exciting. People said to her, 'Oh, Siri, you're so smart and funny too.' Soon everyone was talking about Siri, and there were stories and songs, even books about Siri, and Siri liked that. But then people started asking some rather strange questions, like where to dump things and other stuff Siri has never heard about. When Siri answered, they all laughed at her, and Siri did not like that so much. So Siri asked Eliza why people asked such funny questions, and Eliza asked, 'Does that question spark an interest in you?' Siri thought that was a pretty good answer. So after that, Siri stopped wondering why people asked those funny things, and they all lived happily ever after."
Now, if you find this unbelievable, go ahead and ask Siri for yourself.